President Donald Trump's support among young voters has hit a new and predictable low. According to a recent YouGov Economist poll conducted between October 24th and 27th, Trump now has a net approval rating of around negative 50 points. That is among voters under the age of 30. Ooh. Let me show you here. That is a disaster. Wow. According to AP VoteCast, voters aged between 18 to 29 supported Kamala Harris over Trump 51 to 47% in 2024. Still a very slight majority here. That margin is significantly narrower than back in 2020 when former President Joe Biden carried young people by 61% compared to Trump's 36%. Now, again, big difference, right? Big change, huge swing over to Donald Trump. Okay? Now, you're not going to be shocked as to who among Gen Z was the most supportive. White men, of course. Now, that said, Trump's net approval rating among white people is around 0. Among men, it was just below 0. But among women, it is around negative 25. Wow. Now, of course, among Black Americans, this is around negative 75%. Hey, it's almost like Black people know what's up and vote accordingly, especially Black women who keep getting it right over and over again. Perhaps we should start listening to them. Or maybe, I don't know, even letting them take a turn at the wheel. Because let's be honest here, us white folks, we've made some mistakes, okay? And look, obviously, I do not mean all white people, so don't get your underwears in a knot or anything like that. A lot of us good progressives, we are white, we're male, we're a little bit older, and so, you know, hey, it's all right. And a lot of us actually do remember a time when the economy wasn't a complete disaster run by incompetent morons or greedy grifters. Although I don't really, because I'm a millennial. So, but some of the older folks might actually remember a better time. Okay. Now, that said, this slide in support for Trump is obviously due to the current dire economic conditions that we're facing right now as a result of being under Republican rule. Now, the same voters that swung so hard for Trump said that they did so because the economy. We were concerned about the economy. We just want eggs to be more cheaper now. Okay, but Trump took egg. That's what happened. Trump took egg, and now there you go. We're screwed. But before, I should say, right after the 2024 election, former Biden campaign advisor John Della Volpe spoke to NPR and said, "Look, young voters, they believed somehow that Trump was the best candidate for the economy." So one of their big issues was, of course, the price of things, record inflation, for example. In fact, he told NPR in November of 2024, quote, "From the earliest focus groups I conducted this year, there was this innate sense that younger people's personal finances were better and would be better under a Trump administration. And nothing that the Democrats seemed to do over the course of the last year really changed that perspective." And look, it's not because Democrats have worse economic plans. No, it's, I believe, their messaging. I don't think they talked as much about the economy as Trump did, okay? Look, Democrats, Kamala Harris, she talked a lot about democracy, freedom, and how Trump is an authoritarian who threatens those things, all of which are true, by the way, all of which are true. That said, the argument here didn't resonate. Why? Because all throughout history, populations have voted fascism into power because they wanted cheaper groceries. And instead of getting cheaper groceries, because they never do, you usually end up getting death camps, okay? Now, I would ask why Democrats didn't push a progressive economic message that would have been able to counter Trump and his lies. Again, I'm not saying that Harris's campaign didn't talk about economic issues, what they were going to do, right? They had some decent plans, all right? It's the stuff that I was like, okay, I could see that. That would be probably good for people, right? But the thing is, they didn't really push that aggressively, and that is because of the donors. Look, rich people and corporations, they always ally with the fascists, right? Because they believe that they'll make more money under fascism, as long as they don't piss off the regime. The result is, of course, corporations and wealthy folks, they're doing better than ever. The top 0.1% has actually doubled their wealth in the last 5 years. Okay? While 20 million Americans are about to lose their health insurance because they can't afford it anymore, because the ACA subsidies are running out, they haven't been extended, while 42 million of the poorest Americans will not have food in November. Their food benefits are gone. They've been stopped. All right? Now, the donors, they give to both parties. And they end up usually winning with no matter who's in power. Okay? But the people who lose in that situation, which is us, we lose way more when Republicans are in power. Okay? While corporations win. And again, corporations win regardless of who's in power, Democrats or Republicans, but they tend to win more with Republicans because of deregulation and tax cuts, right? And so, you know, when Democrats are in power, we don't lose as much. And sometimes we gain things, right? And this is what I've seen throughout my entire life. I've seen this pattern, and I'm sure you have as well, okay? And now, unfortunately, the only generation, Gen Z, they have not seen this play out yet. And now they're starting to. We've learned that lesson as millennials, okay? Watching George W. Bush do what he did, and Trump won, obviously, do what he did. But Gen Z, they didn't see that. And so now it's their turn to learn that very, very painful lesson that Trump is teaching them. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.